I've been in your waters. I'm looking for sure. I've never been so close before. It's one way or the other.
Good morning, sunshine. So it's like, I don't know, 5:45. One of the issues I've run into in the shop is that it's way too hot out here during the day and in the evenings. So, and that's why you haven't really been getting that many videos from me. You haven't been doing much work in the shop. I'll come out here and pill around a little bit. But to come out here and like try to make a full-length video has just been kind of not doable unless you're here at the crack of dawn. So that's the plan. I'm gonna try to get out here early. I've also been doing family vacation and the house and got a lot of stuff going on. Anyway, this is the deal. Today, I'm gonna kind of try to finish up a couple little loose ends on the Goose. I want to get back on the Bibbster this week. So this morning, I'm gonna try to get this hood mounted. Let me kind of show you what's going on with this hood. All right, so this is the hood that I've always had on the car. Well, this is what I always used when I raced it. It's not a very good hood. As you can see, the fitment on this thing is awful. It's all bowed up. Back when I was racing the car, it didn't really matter how it fit. I had a hood pin in the back, a hood pin in the front. I actually had some little tabs underneath here. So when I pushed this down to put the hood pin in, it kind of straightened the hood up. And it got the job done. It's a pin-on hood, super light. Kind of served its purpose. Well, it's not really what I want for the car now. I think at some point I'm probably going to go with a hinged hood, so I can raise it up, you know, if I'm out somewhere and kind of show the engine off without taking this thing off and setting it on top of the car or on the ground. But for now, I just need a hood. And until I get the other hood figured out, I'm going to use this one. So I want to try to clean this thing up a little bit. The front here, you can see that I've got these pop-out latches. So I haven't always had these. I used to have just the regular style hood pins on this thing. And part of cleaning it up was going with something like this. And I wanted something manual. A manual lock, so I didn't have to worry about the hood blowing off. So I got one of those on each side. And then the plan is to use some quick latches for the rest of it. So if you're not familiar with the quick latch, that's what they look like. Basically, it's got this aluminum top with it, with a button, and on the bottom it has this threaded piece. So let's grab a couple of these. I'll show you a little closer how they work. Alright, let's see if you can see this. So like I said, it's just got a small threaded rod. The top of it has this button. You can push that button and it pops right off. And this part has like a ball on it. So when you put it back on, it actually has like a little bit of flexibility in there. So they make these things in all kinds of different sizes. These are probably the smallest, I think. My original plan with these was to use them on the Bibbster. And I probably still will. I'll probably get some more. Use these to hold in some of the panels that I'm going to put in there. Make them easy access where you can pop them off, get to some stuff. You know, you want to put it back on, just pop it all back on. They're actually very, very useful. It's a great idea. It's way better than Zeus fasteners or the traditional hood pins or clips. It's way faster and it's got like a smooth look to it once it's mounted. So anyway, I'll use I guess 4 of these to try to fasten that hood. One thing I had to do though is I had to make some little brackets, little tab brackets. These little tabs. So I just took some of that ABS plastic that I use a lot of times in the shop I think I used it on my relay panel. I've used it gauge bezels and stuff like that. I just took some of that stuff, heated up a little bit, put a 90-degree bend in it, cleaned the bend up, and then actually just cut some little triangle pieces to go underneath it. This is just mainly for support. I want to make sure that when these things got hot in the engine bay that they didn't kind of deform, because it is only like an 1/8 inch plastic. And then what I did is I used some of the plastic weld stuff that I've had on the channel before and kind of welded it together. Actually, I think I used a little bit of hot glue initially just to hold it. Then some of that acrylic, I think is what it is, acrylic, 2-part plastic weld, kind of put it in there, weld that bad boy up, and now you got a really nice clean part. And this will go on the back side of the hood to kind of hold it up where it needs to, and that way when I clip the outsides in, it's not pushing down on the center as well. These are one of those things that you don't really need like super fancy equipment and all these welders and grinders and that sort of stuff to fabricate. So a lot of people think that you got to have all these super nice big fancy tools in order to be a fabricator to fabricate things. Not the case. It's got to take a little time. Don't rush it. Make it look good. Make some nice cool parts that are useful. And you're a fabricator. Alright, so here's my plan of attack. I'm going to take these little plastic tabs that I made. Gonna get them mounted up here somewhere. And then, whoop. And then my quick latch setup, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure out from the edge and basically just try to catch the inner side of this strut tower somewhere to mount these bad boys. But what I'll do is I'll do with the hood on. I'll kind of take my measurements over so I know about where the metal is. And then I'll drill through the hood and the car at the same time, so alignment is pretty close. Got the tabs in and the hood is held the right height now. As you can see, it's kind of level right there. So I'm gonna push this down, it's gonna be perfect. And that little tab in there is kind of holding that where it should be in the center. So now all I gotta do is line up the gaps on this thing the best I can. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because I don't not really gonna use this hood. Now I've also kind of marked 2 spots on the car that I think is a good distance for those pins to go. I'll start on this side, then I'll make the other side match. Alright, there it is. Got the hood on, finally. It's not a perfect scenario, mainly because this hood sucks. But I'll fix that later. For now, it'll be good. I can get out, kick around. The car looks more natural now versus riding around without a hood on. If anybody out there has any connections on fiberglass hoods, let me know. Looking for probably like a hinged style hood for sure. Alright guys, that's all I got for you. As always, thank you for joining me. Probably see you guys tomorrow. Go do work, son.